Allah knows whatever you spend, or whatever you vow to spend. The wrongdoers have none to succor them. If you dispense your charity publicly, it is well, but if you conceal it and pay it to the needy in secret, it'll be even better for you. This will atone for several of your misdeeds. Allah is well aware of all that you do. You are not responsible for setting these people on the right way. Allah sets on the right way whomsoever He wills. Whatever wealth you spend in charity is to your own benefit, for you spend merely to please Allah. So, whatever you spend in charity will be repaid to you in full, and you shall not be wronged. Those needy ones who are wholly wrapped up in the cause of Allah, and who are hindered from moving about the earth in search of their livelihood, especially deserve help. He who is unaware of their circumstances supposes them to be wealthy because of their dignified bearing. But you will know them by their countenance, although they do not go about begging of people with importunity. Whatever wealth you spend on helping them, Allah will know of it. Those who spend their wealth by night and by day, secretly and publicly, will find that their reward is secure with their Lord, and that there's no reason for them to entertain any fear or grief. As for those who devour interest, they behave as the one whom Satan has confounded with his touch. Seized in this state, they say, buying and selling is but a kind of interest, even though Allah has made buying and selling lawful and interest unlawful. Hence, he who receives this admonition from his Lord and then gives up dealing in interest may keep his previous gains, and it will be for Allah to judge him. As for those who revert to it, they are the people of the fire, and in it shall they abide. Allah deprives interest of all blessing, whereas He blesses charity with growth. Allah loves none who is ungrateful and persists in sin. Truly, the reward of those who believe and do righteous deeds and establish prayer and pay zakah is with their Lord. They have no reason to entertain any fear or grief. Believers, have fear of Allah and give up all outstanding interest if you do truly believe. But if you fail to do so, then be warned of war from Allah and His Messenger. If you repent even now, you have the right of the return of your capital. Neither will you do wrong, nor will you be wronged. But if the debtor is in straitened circumstance, let him have respite until the time of ease, and whatever you remit by way of charity is better for you, if only you know. And have fear of the day when you shall return to Allah, and every human being shall be fully repaid for whatever good or evil he has done, and none shall be wronged. Believers, whenever you contract a debt from one another for a known term, commit it to writing. Let a scribe write it down between you justly, and the scribe may not refuse to write it down according to what Allah has taught him. So let him write, and let the debtor dictate, and let him fear Allah, his Lord, and curtail no part of it, if the debtor be feeble-minded, weak, or incapable of dictating. Let his guardian dictate equitably, and call upon 2 of your men as witnesses. But if 2 men are not there, then let there be 1 man and 2 women as witnesses from among those acceptable to you, so that if one of the 2 women should fail to remember, the other might remind her. Let not the witnesses refuse when they are summoned to give evidence. Do not show slackness in writing down the transaction, whether small or large, along with the term of its payment. That is fairest in the sight of Allah. It is best for testimony and is more likely to exclude all doubts. If it be a matter of buying and selling on the spot, it is not blameworthy if you do not write it down, but do take witnesses when you settle commercial transactions with one another, and the scribe or the witness may be done no harm. It will be sinful if you do so. Beware of the wrath of Allah. He teaches you the right way and has full knowledge of everything.